This is simple, Sapri. It's from a mortgage industry perspective, right? This is super simple. 80% of our costs are labor. 80% of our costs are labor, and 100% of our defects come from people. Like, it's all data entry, and it's more that you can do to remove both of those things simultaneously. You end up with better quality and lower costs. It's also, faster speed, less errors. When you start removing people from the equation by automating stuff like this, like that's where it's going. Like, if you look at that Freddie Mac put out that survey, right? Like, what's the cost of production on, and they had it in tiers. It was like 25th quartile, 50%, and 75th percent. And I think roughly it was, like, cost of production was like 5,000, 12,000, 17,000, somewhere thereabouts. The people that are on the highest tier, bro, they're dinosaurs, man. They're going to end up out of business. You can't fight change. It's inevitable. And if you don't embrace technology to help prevent defects and improve your cost structure, you're going to lose, and you're going to find yourself out of a job. Unfortunately, the industry currently in its current state is commoditized, right? We're all selling the same thing to the same people at the same price, which means we don't have that many different ways to compete. Like, it's price and service. Well, if you're in a commodity market, then the market sets the price, like, without significant deviation. Like, the price of oil is the price of oil. The price of gold is the price of gold. The price of gas is the price of gas. Can you get an extra penny or two because you have better coffee than the guy across the street? Maybe, but it's pennies on the dollar. And if that's the industry that we face right now, then you don't have a choice but to embrace stuff like this and start thinking outside the box and trying to figure out, how can I produce better quality at a lower cost? And that's what we're doing together with this. Is we're standardizing our workflow. We're extracting data from the documents to help eliminate the human data entry. From an operational perspective, most of our time, I mean, this is anecdotal, like, I haven't measured it yet, but I think you'd find if you interview your people and actually look at what they do, almost all of our time is data entry. Like, it's 75% data entry and 25% actual critical thinking. If you can eliminate the 75% or even reduce it and then scale the critical thinking part, you can really take your top performers and make them do more. And that's what we're doing here today together. Is we're not eliminating positions. We're helping our existing positions to scale. From a price perspective and a total value proposition, like, you guys are by far the best. It's not even close. You could go to some of the, I'm not going to name any names, but you go to some of the bigger brand names that are backed by big VC firms. Like, they got big VC VIGs that they got to pay, right? Big VC debt that they got to pay, big IRR hurdles. Your structure and flexibility, I think, helps to enable your price point where smaller IMBs like us can start working with this stuff, and the hurdle's not so high. I've looked at the market for this, and on a total value prop, like, it's not even close. The other thing is when you start working at some of these, I'm leaving nameless, platforms, they have already built it such that it's standardized for the masses, so it's very difficult to customize, and it's really not flexible, right? Like, one of the very attractive things about your platform is that it's still dynamic and customizable, and so that we can focus it on our workflow specifically, rather than have to change our workflow and embrace, like, a different, and I would say a different and maybe less efficient philosophy or manufacturing process, right? Like, we can use it however it works for us, and everywhere we can plug it in, it adds value.
Right.
So
That's great.
That's why I like you guys, is because it's flexible, and you guys get the mortgage industry and you get the business of it. Again, some of these nameless ones, they're technologists that understand software, and they have a broad understanding of the mortgage industry, but Like you guys get exactly what we're doing, and we don't have to educate you on our business. Like you already understand it because you're mortgage guys that happen to do technology, or maybe you're technology guys that happen to do mortgage. I don't know which it is, but it seems to be coextensive.